Hi guys, for your first inquiry lab, I've presented you with a problem. So hopefully you have gone through your Google slide that I gave you for your inquiry lab, and you can see that the problem I presented to you was you like radishes on your salad, and so you planted a radish garden in your backyard. And you did everything according to the directions on the back of the package that you're supposed to do for your radish garden. But what you notice is that none of your radishes are growing, that nothing is poked up out of the soil. And so you start to ask, what is going on? Why are my radishes not growing the way my radishes are supposed to be growing? And you make a couple of observations because that's the second step, right? So step number one, ask a question. Why are my radishes not growing? Step number two is make observations. So as you saw in the Google slides, you observe that your sister does something out on the patio, uses some chemical or something out on the patio. This is where you guys have some choice. So what around your house do you want to use as your manipulated variable or your independent variable? Those two things, by the way, interchangeable. So I always use independent variable or IDV because I teach IB at the junior and senior level. And if you come back to me in the junior and senior level, that's the terminology that you guys need to know. The other terminology that you may have heard in junior high is manipulated variable. Your IDV or your manipulated variable is the thing that you're in charge of, that you're choosing when you do an inquiry experiment. And so some of the things that you could do as your IDV are shampoo or conditioner. Let's say your sister washes her hair out on the patio. You could do soda or fruit juice or cleaning supplies. So pick what you are interested in studying. So what could affect the germination? What could affect this plant actually starting to grow in the soil? And you observe in this fictitious story that I'm telling you that your sister is doing this out on the patio. And then your brother comes along in the evening and he hoses down the patio and all of that stuff runs into your garden. So you're curious as to whether or not this is the reason why your garden's not growing. Hopefully on the day that you picked up your textbooks, you picked up a white envelope. That envelope contains approximately 15 radish seeds. Usually I erred a little bit on the side of more, but hopefully you've got approximately 15 in there. You're going to do 3 treatments of your IDV. One is going to be 0%. That's just going to be water because water is what your radish seeds need to grow. That's like the normal instructions. So one is going to be regular water. I was going to write on my board, but I realized I didn't have any markers back there. Maybe my assistant can get me one from underneath further down. One is going to be regular water. One is going to be like a quarter water and 75% water and a quarter whatever it is that you're studying. And one is going to be maybe half and half. So I'm going to make 3 treatments, 3 cups of my chemical. Let's just say I'm going to choose Diet Coke because let's say my sister drinks Diet Coke on the patio all the time and she's clumsy and she spills it. So in my first treatment, I'm going to have 100% water. In my second treatment, I'm going to have 25% Diet Coke and 75% water. In my last treatment, I'm going to go 50% Diet Coke and 50% water. So what I'm going to do is take my seeds, and let's say I've got 15 seeds. I'm going to do 5 seeds in pure water, 5 seeds in my 25-75, and 5 seeds in my 50-50. If for some reason seeds fell out of your envelope and you've got 12 seeds, it's okay. Just divide it into 3. If you've got more than 15 seeds, that's okay too. Divide it by 3. How are you going to make your solutions then, right? We don't have a lab, we don't have scales, and we don't have beakers and graduated cylinders. That's okay. For 90% of the things that you would choose, I bet if you ask mom and dad, and by the way, that's the key on all of this, ask mom and dad first they would let you use their measuring cups. If not, guys, these I pulled out of my cabinet in my lab section. These are from the Dollar Tree. So $1 for a whole set of stacking measuring cups. This would work as well. So if I'm going to make a cup of liquid, I'd get a cup measuring thing, and I'd get a quarter measuring thing. So for my first one, I'm just going to fill up a full cup of water. There's my first treatment cup. So I'll put it in like a plastic cup. I'll label it. That way I've got the water to keep my paper towels moist throughout the entire experiment. For my second one, I'll do 3 of the quarter cups with water and 1 of the quarter cups with, say, my Diet Coke. And then put it into a plastic cup, label it. There's what I'm going to keep my seeds moist with. For my last treatment, I'll do 2 of the quarter cups with Diet Coke and 2 of them with water. Put it into a cup, label it. There's my solution. So we're not doing like, chemistry measurements. This is not like the science that you could turn into scientific journal. This is at home, we're going to get our hands dirty and we're going to do some science. And this is okay. As long as you're consistent, this is okay. So then what do? There are 2 methods you can do. You can do the Ziploc bag method, and you may have done this at some point in your, school career. Or you can do the paper bowl or Tupperware or whatever container you've got that's got high sides. Don't do a plate that's flat, but any kind of bowl or Tupperware works. For that, you also need a piece of paper towel. You are going to dampen your paper towel with whatever solution you're using. So I'll have 3 bowls. 1 bowl for this, 1 bowl for my 75-25, and 1 bowl for my 50-50. Dampen my paper towel, put it at the bottom of my bowl, and spread out my 5 seeds. If you're going to use the bowl or the Tupperware, cover it with saran wrap because you want that humidity in there. And then you just every day look and you're going to measure the roots as they come out. If you're doing the plastic bag, it's the same principle, right? You'll have a plastic bag for each of the 3 things. Moisten your paper towel, put it in your plastic bag, put the seeds on top. I think probably in junior high, you put the seeds in the middle. You don't want to do that. Just put them on top so that through the plastic bag, you can see the growth. In your data table, you're going to either measure how many days it took for the seeds to pop out, to show roots or root leaves, or how long that grows. And so every day you're going to put a measurement for how long. If you go 5 days and the only one that's showing growth is your 100% water, then you know that these 2 are too strong, and that's okay. Just gives you something more to write about, right? Then you know for sure. If you're using household cleaner, you probably want to make your dilutions even smaller. And if you're going to use household cleaner, I'm going to guess mom and dad don't want you using your measurement cups. Mom and dad probably don't want you putting shampoo or conditioner in the measuring cups that they use to bake. So make sure that you clear everything you're doing with your parents before you start. Don't have them walk into your kitchen and have a surprise and start yelling at you. If you have any questions on your experimental design or as you go through this, please don't hesitate to reach out, and good luck in growing your radishes.